Good morning and welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV at Frederick. My name is Callie Say and I'm here at Transwest in trailer sales. Now, one of the things that I specialize in at Transwest is custom builds. So pretty much exclusively this is all I handle these days. And this is a really cool one that we put together for a customer. He's got some big warm bloods that are going to load on this trailer. This trailer is going to see a ton of miles. We're really excited for him to get it on the road. Now, this is one of those trailers that we've set it up to be convertible in so many different ways that we have the options to make box stalls, 3 across, 2 across, extra stalls. You can load a horse on this front tack room stall. So there's lots of different options that we put on this one in order to make it really customizable for the customer. Let's start here at the front here. Now, this trailer is 8'4" wide, 8'1" tall, 39-foot box with an 8'2" nose. It's probably going to be hauled by a pretty big truck. So one of the things that Cimarron did is they partnered with B&W in order to get this lower hole here so that if they are hauling it with a hauler truck, they can slide that stem up a little farther and get this trailer to ride nice and level. I'm sure you guys saw how high this one was sitting off the ground. We're kind of tilted here at an angle, so it looks a little more extreme on this side. But we've also got the air up. So a trailer of this caliber, it is obviously going to get air ride. So it's running on 888K Dexter Airflex axles. And a Dexter axle is a really cool innovation where you've got a regular torsion axle and then those airbags actually sit on top with shocks. So it gives the trailer basically the ability to float on top of those axles. So any of those bumps and road feedback you get from the surface of the ground is not going to transfer up to those horses nearly as extreme. So they're basically riding on cushions, which for somebody that's putting a lot of show miles on their horses is a really great option because they can show up later to a show. Their horses, when they get off, they feel rested. They don't feel like they've been riding on an earthquake the whole way to the show. So less vet bills, less chiropractic. It sounds crazy, but air ride pays for itself so fast, especially when you've got really high quality horses that are having to do a really tough job. It also improves the feedback from the trailer to the truck. So a truck that's pulling an air ride trailer is going to feel less of those tugs and jerks that a trailer will have because the truck hits it, then the trailer hits it. You're going to not feel it so much on the trailer side. It's going to be a lot smoother of a pull for you. Under here, we've also outfitted this with 2 spares. This is something that I've done on quite a few trailers of this size, having a triple axle. You don't want to be stranded somewhere if you end up taking out one side of your trailer. So having 2 spares is a really great option. And these spares are the same as what we've got running on the ground. So they are 17.5 Continentals. They are 18 ply tires. They're huge, great tires with Alcoas. So the Alcoas are really nice because you can always shine them back up to their original kind of luster. And these tires are gonna definitely hold up for a lot of the miles that are put on these tires. We've got a single electric over hydraulic jack. Now this is one where we could have gone with a dual, but the spare tires were a little bit more important. So having that single leg hydraulic, if for any reason the battery is not functioning like it should, you can still take this little crowbar here and pump this jack up or down so he's not going to be stranded, unable to get it off of his pickup. But we do have a couple of cool things on this trailer that are standard on every Cimarron with a hydraulic jack, and it is this RedArc system. RedArc does a couple of cool things. They prevent, if you've got low voltage or something messing with your battery, you know how a lot of people will blow the 12 volt and then they don't know it, and then their air ride stops working because their battery stops charging. This is actually going to let us know if we're getting sufficient power, if the 12 volt fuse is working on your tow vehicle. And if there is insufficient power or something wrong, this has an internal trip, so it's not going to blow the fuse on your 12 volt, so you don't have to replace it. It's going to do it on here and reset itself. So that's a really cool option. It also increases the charge that's coming off of the tow vehicle onto your battery, so you can get this battery charged up faster as you drive. We do have a battery disconnect here. So once you guys look inside, you'll notice we have lots of different switches in here. If they accidentally leave one on, the easiest thing to do is cut power when you're done with the trailer, and then it'll cut off all the lights, anything that you might have accidentally left on inside. This battery box is lockable. He's got a little extra room in here if he wants to put some tools. So it's a great option to have. I've had people in the past go and take battery boxes all the way across here in order to give themselves some more storage. And then right here, we do have a hydraulic pump for the brakes. They're electric over hydraulic disc brakes. Trailer of this size should have some really good stopping power. So those electric over hydraulic discs are going to respond faster and stronger than regular electric brakes. I think it's really important on a trailer of this size. And then right over here is your controls for your air ride. Really simple system to use. We've got an on-off switch, and your battery does have to be on in here, and then a raise and lower. So we've got it in the raised position right now. What I recommend to a lot of customers is when you are about to get this trailer ready to hit the road, I always just go ahead and turn it on, but leave it in the lower position. That way this trailer box gets picked up about 2 to 3 inches. If you keep it in the lower position, it's going to be less of an incline on your ramp, so it's going to be easier for your horses to load in and out of. And then as soon as you're done, switch that to raise, and it'll pick that box up and get it at the ride height that it wants to be at. This has its own leveling valve, so you don't have to mess with it in any way as far as making sure it's got the proper amount of air in it. Spit valve right here, so that any extra moisture that's in the lines, when it hits a certain pressure drop, it's going to spit some of that fluid out, so your lines will not freeze in these colder temperatures. Now where this one's going, hopefully it won't see a lot of cold weather, but we want to be prepared just in case. And then you do have your controls for your electric over hydraulic jack right there, just a raise and lower, very simple to use. Since this trailer is a triple axle air ride, we have the ability to do something really cool. And this is something that we do exclusively here at Transwest. We actually install a dump on that first axle of this trailer. So it's going to dump all the air out of that axle. We've got a little indicator light right here, and when we've got the air dumped out of it, it will blink at us. And what that allows us to do is, on these really big triple axles, kind of the bane of their existence is tight spaces in and out. Like if you're trying to get parked at a show, if you're trying to get in and out of a tight gas station. So what we can do is we can dump that air out of that first axle, and it's going to shift that weight a little bit so that it's not nearly as hard on the sidewalls of those tires. So it's going to help improve the longevity of your tires, and it's going to be a lot better on those axles. Now this is for creeping speeds only. It's not something you're going to hit when you're going down the road. It's a little remote that's attached to your keys, so you want to keep it out of somewhere where you could accidentally bump it, because you do want air in all 3 of those axles as you are traveling down the road. But this is a lifesaver for those tires. It makes it so much better for them as you're traveling in and out of tight places. Now we're going to go over here to the horse area. This trailer has the ability, if you wanted to haul 9 horses. So it's technically a 6-horse head-to-head, but we have thrown a few extra stalls on this one, and like I said, the configurations that we're able to do are pretty cool. Let's go ahead and start with this one here. Like I said, this ramp is a little bit steeper than it would normally be, just because we are on this slope here and the air's up. But this is basically our stud stall here. We've got tons of storage up in the nose. This is all enclosed, lockable. If they ever needed to, this center post is actually removable. So if they've got anything really big they need to throw in here, they can unattach this center post here from behind and have this clear space in order to be able to put everything in. We've got gray rubber tread flooring on the floor here, so you don't have to worry about cleaning up any carpet or anything. It's going to maintain itself really well. This is seamless, very easy to use. We've got storage for extra chest and butt bars up here, because we do have the ability to run this as 3 across or 2 across in those straight load stalls. Then we've got a huge opto-bright light up front which is going to allow us to see what we're doing if we're hauling this at night. Fans up in the corner here. We do have an access door with a bus window, chest bar and butt bar on here. This whole thing is kick matted. We've got Werm flooring on the floor here with a drain in the corner because we don't have the access to let that water roll out the back when they clean this out. They've got a drain access there to be able to use. And then these bars up top in order to get some airflow. Let this horse know he's not all alone on the trailer if for some reason they do have one hauling here. Which is a really, really cool setup. Lights we did on the hip side here so that the horses, as they're traveling, they don't have to stare at a light. And then we've got big roof vents. You're definitely gonna need a stool or something on this 8-1 tall trailer in order to access that there. And as you look down the length of this trailer here, we've got extrusions that we ran all the way up to the front. Anytime we've got these really big gooseneck trailers, Cimarron always prefers to run these extrusions all the way up. They actually don't just look good, they add a lot of structural strength to the sidewalls of these trailers. So they're interlocking. They actually have a radius inside so that you can add more strength. So these sidewalls here with the extrusions actually add a lot of strength if we run them all the way to the front. Plus I think it looks really good. We've got the wraparound style nose here, and then up on the top rail we did some extra button lights, some big 16-inch awning lights so that if they're traveling at night they can load and unload horses and actually see what they're doing. Big drop windows on the head for these rear facing horses. And then something really cool is, this was actually a customer request right at the end there, is they wanted a bigger access door over the wheel wells. So if they need to get into these stalls here and they've got a horse loaded right in front, it's gonna be really easy for them to jump in there, access things, and kind of get this trailer used here. We do still have bus windows up there on the access doors so we can get some airflow. Huge bus windows over the hips. I mean, this trailer is gonna have the ability to have a ton of ventilation. Back here at the rear, underneath you can see we've got some bogey wheels. Something with this much tail, it's really nice to have those bogey wheels. That way if you do have somewhere with a pretty steep drainage that you have to get in and out of, it's gonna roll on those bogey wheels instead of dragging the rear off of the trailer. Big wraparound windows here, rear ramp with Dutch doors. And this trailer is 8'4" wide, so we have the ability to run those horses 3 across. Now something we did here is we changed the stall sizes a little bit off of what Cimarron has standard. We've actually got from butt to chest bar 72 inches on the rear here and 74 on those rear facing horses. We've done a lot of measuring here at Transwest with some really big warm bloods, and we've found that they actually ride a little bit better when they've got kind of that bracing on the front and the back in order to keep them a little bit more comfortable. And then we actually changed the height for the butt bars up to 49 inches because we were finding that some of those really big warm bloods were sitting back on that rear ramp. They were able to get their butts kind of above those butt bars, so the butt bars weren't really doing their job. So we've changed a little bit of that just based on what we've seen here at Transwest. Now, these are really cool dividers that we've got here. They're all traveling dividers, and I'll show you on the front ones up here because I don't have the button chest bars put up there. But we can actually make these into box stalls or 2s and 2s. So right now we've got it set up in the 3 across position. So if they've got a couple big horses or that they need to haul and they need to take a full trailer, they can. But if they want to slide them over, they've got that ability to run 2 across or a single box stall. And we did have these wheel wells squared off here so that we can scoot these dividers as close to the sidewall as possible. Big bus windows over the hips here. I guess I won't make Marlon walk through that. We've got little safety latches on the front here. So if you've got like geldings that like to play with this, the butt bars are really easy to take off, but these have these little safety catches so that the horses can't just pop them off and wander while you're driving. These head dividers are breakover, so if you need to scoot by, you can make it a little easier for yourself. We've got this right here. That's just so that we can move this all as one solid piece. Definitely makes it a little easier to get in and out here. On all these AR latches, they're really smooth, really easy to operate. We've got AR latches all over this trailer because we've got a lot of moving pieces. So this big gate here can swing over. And then if you do have a horse in this box right here, you've got the ability to squeeze in and throw feed or water that center horse. Now with those bigger side doors, they probably have the ability, if they wanted to sneak by, they could. But if they don't want to fight it and they just want to come in this door, they've got that middle access there. We do have some fans on this one, this stall here. Fans over here and fans in this other box. This center post is completely removable. It's also on an AR latch. So if they wanted to have this as a one big space, haul a golf cart, throw a mare and foal or something in here, just have a really big space, they can completely take this bar out and open these to the side and get anything really large through. So it just gives you some more flexibility here. And then, so you've got your other box still here. Like I said, Werm flooring all the way through. If you do have a horse on this one, you've also got the ability to sneak in, feed or water your middle horse. And then if you want to completely unload horses, this will clip over to the side here and you can walk horses on and off this way. Lots and lots of flexibility on this one. So they really thought of everything. This chest bar here slides. So because we've got a little more space, it's on this sliding track here and it stores right there on the side. Just gives them the ability to kind of keep that out of the way. That way we don't have a butt bar or chest bar sticking kind of out into the middle because this one is a little bit longer. We do have an escape door over here. So when I don't have these doors set to the side, it gives you the ability to jump in at that location as well. And then we've got big stud stalls back here. So these are top to the bottom, bar type all the way across for lots of airflow. And like I said, up there in the back, you can see that additional airflow that keeps that horse up front. If you've got one up there, able to have airflow and also know that its buddies are right here. These are so easy to move. We've got this big bar back here since we don't have butt bars, that if you've got a horse that just likes to lay back against that wall, we've beefed up the framing in this wall, but also this bar is solid and it's going to give them something to lean against instead of that trying to push that wall in. If you want to move these over, there's 4 points of connections on these ones. And they've got little holders for those AR latches so that they stay down or up. Little J's here. And then you literally, this one's going to try and walk a little faster because we are on this angle. But we've got all of these locations for them to stay in place. Here and down here. So just like that, if I wanted to, I could move this one over to the side too, and then I could have a big box stall in this location. If I wanted to haul some bigger horses with more space, I can move both of these into these center locations. And I've got those big chest and butt bars up front in that box, in that storage location, that we can throw those across if we wanted to haul in a different configuration. So as you can see, there's so much flexibility on this trailer. It is so cool. I'm so excited to see it loaded up. and in its new home. This is something that we get to do at Transwest that's really, really cool option. When we build these trailers, these customers have such great ideas. We're able to really modify it to suit their individual needs. Now, this one is sold, but like I said, this is kind of what I specialize in, is building these custom trailers. We do custom living quarters, custom stock trailers, kind of the world is your oyster. I've even done trailers for like custom cars and everything. So there's a lot of cool options that we can do. If you loved this one, fell in love with it, must have it, I would be happy to spec it to your kind of your liking. If you want to reference the stock number that we have on this one, it is 5N251109. That will allow us to pull up the specs and drawings that go with this trailer. And you can see exactly how this one is set up as far as dimensions. And if you've got any other crazy ideas that you want to try, we can always run it by Cimarron. That's kind of the cool part, is these customers make the coolest custom trailers. So I want to thank my customers that built this with me. I think that they're going to be really happy with how this one is set up. I'm so excited for them to get it in their hands and start using it. So thank you so much for tuning in today. If you have any questions, you can always reach me. My direct line is 970-309-6368. Once again, my name is Callie Say. Thanks for tuning in.